So let's just send it into a wall. Wow. That is not a safe car at all. So, as promised in my top speed video from about a week ago, I will be checking the top speed that I could possibly get to on all of the vanilla cars in the game and putting them on a spreadsheet. Today we'll be looking at, of course, the Ibishu Covet. So in this we're actually going to do it in two separate forms. We're going to do it in both front wheel drive and rear wheel drive format because of course the two different formats kind of completely change the chassis and the engine options available to you. So let's start with front wheel drive. Okay, this is our first test version. Just want to see how the engine holds up. So I'll just have some low rolling resistant rear wheels and then some nice grippy front wheels. Engine seems to be holding up just fine. 190 miles an hour, that is respectable. Okay, I've adjusted the gearing and increased the turbo boost pressure by quite a long way. That front wheel spin is going to be something we'll have to watch for when we up the power, because bouncing off the rev limiter like that is really going to wreak havoc on the engine. Oh, I forgot about the nitrous. I haven't tried it out yet, so we'll see how it handles. I don't actually know what the kilowattage is. I just put the adjustable nitrous shot in it and then I didn't adjust it. I think it's 75 kilowatts. Damn, this is actually doing way better than I thought it would. Damn, this thing could be pushed way more. I'll just try up the power and use the same gearing for now. But the engine's happy with the boost pressure anyway. No overheating problems as far as I can see either. Also, I just noticed that mirror is being held on by nothing. Okay, we'll see how far we can get before we need the nitrous. Looks like we won't need it at all. Wow. Well, I'm going to use it anyway because I want to see how the engine handles it. Oh, wow. Oh. That causes some overheating problems, but they're not as drastic as I would have thought they'd be. Okay, I've tweaked it just a little bit more this time. I have a vehicle to push me up to some speeds. It's geared a little bit shorter than I thought it was. I don't know what that jumping is at the top of the rev range. I hope it's not something that's going to be a problem. Right, I think it's kind of aerodynamically limiting itself at 262 and it's overheating without nitrous, so we could have ourselves a little bit of a problem here. Okay, so I've made the gears a little closer together and I've made the final drive a bit shorter. I know the truck passed me, but the main reason the pushing happens is to avoid the clutch burning itself out. I realise I maybe should have locked the diff. That might help me a little bit, because I have a feeling those speed jumps are because of differential slip. Even though it is a race limited slip differential, you can still get a little bit of slippage. Still 257 is pretty impressive. Okay, I've made a few more adjustments, but I think when it reaches its limit it's going to be aerodynamics that stops it from really going much faster, because it's already presenting itself as a problem at the moment. Wasn't even paying attention to the horsepower. Wow, does that say 800? Yeah, dude. From a little four banger like this, that's highly impressive. 257, and we're starting to overheat. Now, someone did suggest the start engines or spawn with cold engines thing. I know you actually did try that in the top speed video. If you watch me when I'm driving the Chevette Bolide, you'll actually see one frame of the coolant temperature being all the way at zero. Actually, it's when I point out that it's overheating, but the coolant temperature is at zero. So it might be a bug of sorts, but also you have to remember when you're running an engine at this level, it's actually bad for the engine to be cold. So I imagine the devs would have included that as part of how the engines work. Let's just send it into a wall. Wow. That is not a safe car at all. It just folded, dude. I'm actually kind of stumped now. I don't really know what's going to make the top speed much better than it is. What I could do, I'm going to make the final drive a bit longer. And then I'm going to drive it in a way that keeps the temperatures low. And I'll just do a kamikaze run of nitrous right at the very end to bring the car up to new heights. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, temperature has been kept low there. And the moment I see the temperature start to get a little too high, just boom, nitrous. Oh wow. That sent it up way faster than I thought it would. Now I don't know if that's just clutch slip. I might need to pay attention to that. We bet to nuke this fucking engine. So I don't see the temperatures increasing yet. Now it's worth remembering the engine is less likely to blow up with nitrous if the revs are higher. So here we go. Oh yeah, that is definitely clutch or wheel spin or something. Yeah, it's wheel spin. It might be possible then to get even faster if I just figure out what to do with the throttle. Because that's absurd if I'm wheel spinning at those speeds. Into the ocean, come on. Ah. Okay, so I'm going to try this run again on the same settings, except this time I'm going to manage the driving a little better. Okay, so we're getting pretty fast now, so I'm going to give this a shot. And I'm going to reduce the throttle. It seems to only activate at full throttle. If you look at the nitrous button in the corner, it's actually not lighting up all the time. So I've decided to go the opposite direction with the front wheels now. I've made them slightly smaller to see if I can make any improvements on what I had earlier. This should hopefully reduce the air resistance, because I've kind of reduced the full frontal surface area of the vehicle. Before we even use the nitrous, we're already looking good. Wow. Now we're definitely going to lose traction when we use the nitrous, so I might reduce the nitrous potency a little bit after this to see if we can get the nitrous to work without ridiculous amounts of wheel spin. Oh, I did just have another idea as well. I could reduce the RPM limit, because then the engine would be less likely to overheat. So I'm going to do both of those things right now. So it's got a lower speed, but engine is happy. I'm not spinning up the wheels like fucking crazy. So I've done some extreme adjustments to the final drive and stuff here. So far so good when it comes to the wheel spin. I might reduce the RPMs a little bit more, because it still seems to jump up out of nowhere like that. It accelerates fast too. 256, and we're at a boost, right? Now I'm gonna hold off on the boost just so I can make sure I have enough by the end of it. Made a mistake pulling away from the truck there, but it's fine. We'll pass him. I hope his debris doesn't get in our way, which has happened to me before. Okay. We'll go here. The RPM seem to be... Ooh. I might need to reduce the potency of the nitrous again. Okay, so I reduced the potency of the nitrous and I reduced the final drive just a little bit. Woohoo! Boom! That is always fun to watch. It's still jumping around. I have a feeling it's the shorter gearing that's causing that. To be honest, I might call it as she splutters out of juice. Still got nitrous though. And no more nitrous. Just a funny thought, there are certain games out there that let you boost without using the throttle, and it logically doesn't make sense, because nitrous is like extra oxygen, not extra petrol, if you want to think of it like that in the cylinder. Click here to watch me try and achieve the fastest speed possible out of all the vanilla BeamNG cars. Subscribe, because I will be making a part 2 for this with the rear wheel drive version, and well, I'll just be making this a series in general. And this is another video YouTube thinks you'll like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out on the track.